All right, so let's go over some composition and shot theory that I use in order to do real estate photography. So I'm just gonna bring you over here and let you see it in real time how I do it. All right, cool. So we're not talking about settings here, but I will put it in bracketing mode. Let's see here. And what I do is just get my composition ready. Let's see. All right, so what I'm doing here is just making sure that I can see the two back walls here. The fireplace being a staple point, and then also, seeing on into the dining room. I'm at 16 millimeters, and I'm sit back in this corner right here. So what I'm gonna do is just make sure my camera height is, where this is an empty house, my camera height is a little taller than what it would normally be, but it's about 5 feet tall. So I just get my exposure correct, my verticals lined up, and then take a shot. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dissect this room. It's a really big open room, but what I'm gonna do now is act like the living room is one area, like one room. So I'm gonna shoot it from a couple different corners. So what I'm gonna do is come over here in this corner over here, and I'm gonna shoot back towards, let's see. I'm gonna shoot back towards the door. Let's see here. So what I'm gonna do is just back up, and then I wanna make sure that I'm not cutting off any door frames or anything like that. Getting it lined up, and that's how I'm gonna take my shot here. All right. Review my images real quick. Yep. So now, like I said, I'm just gonna go and stay in my corners here. Put the camera right here. All right, make sure the camera's out of it. And what I'm gonna do here is just get that fireplace out of the way a little bit and just roll it over, that way I can see what's going on here. All right, just like that, and we move on. So now what I'm gonna do is kind of dissect this dining room, kitchen area. So I'm going to line this up here. You don't wanna have the side of that door frame leading into the hallway cut off. So I just kind of roll over my pan over to the left to get rid of it altogether. And that's about where I would shoot that right there. All right, and like I said, I just stick to my corners, and I'm just going to keep moving from corner to corner. Now, I'm in this far corner over here, and what I want to do is, I'm looking at the right side of the screen here and just making sure I'm not cutting off the door like that. Look at your edges, make sure you're not cutting off anything. And I'm gonna take a shot just like that. All right, let's dissect this a little bit more. I'm gonna take a 1-point perspective here. Most all of the ones that I've been doing have been called a 2-point perspective, where you're seeing two walls mainly in the photo. This is what's called a 1-point because you're only focusing on one wall. I do this for a lot of detail shots and kitchens and things that you want to really focus on, one thing like fireplaces and everything like that. All right, sticking to that rule of just staying in the corners, we're just going to come over to each corner. I'm going to shove myself back in this corner, and I'm going to roll over until you see on the far left side of the screen there, that window. You don't want to cut it off like that. You want to leave it about right there, and that's about where I'm going to take my brackets at. All right, good deal. So I have now done this main area from all corners. I could do another 1-point right here as well, looking on into the kitchen. Show you what that looks like here. Let's see. Lower my camera height just a little All right, I think that's about right. All right, so now we just move on through the house here. Now let me explain what I do through bedrooms here. So this bedroom opens off into the left, and what I'm gonna do is, first of all, get right here, and I'm gonna put my camera as close to the door frame as I can. That way I can get in here. Oops, zoom out more. And I'm gonna try to get my camera just past the door frame there because I don't want it in the foreground. And that's about where I'm gonna take that. This might be a little dark. Yeah, I think looking at the images here, they're a little dark. So what I'm gonna do is just delete those because I was a little dark on my exposure. So I'll pull it up here. That's better. Yeah, this room is very dark, so I didn't change my shutter speed around. Let's see here. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is just go 180 degrees from where I was just standing. So just the opposite end of the room here. And I'm gonna take another shot here. So I'm gonna frame this up. And like I said, I'm a big fan of not cutting off, you know, anything on the edges too much. But here I'm trying to split the difference because I'm as far back as I can get on this wall, really. Let's see. There we go. Just scooting back just a little more. Getting my verticals correct. And that is where I can do it. That way I'm not cutting off that closet. And I'm still seeing a sliver of that third wall just to give some perspective of how big the room is. All right. And usually on bedrooms, I just take 2 angles of each room, and that's where I keep it. All right. Moving on to this little half, or it was this full bath here. Same rule, basically. I just take my camera, put it as close to the door frame as I can get it, and you don't want to have that left side of that door frame in the frame. So I just kind of come over until I can't see it. And I'm actually going to raise my camera height just to see a little bit more of the light fixture there. So that's going to be where I shoot my brackets at. Bathrooms like this, I usually just take 1 angle because I don't really need to take any more. I feel like there's nothing more that I could, you know, showcase on that. All right, stepping into this other bedroom here, same thing. I just kind of push my camera in the door frame here. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I don't like to see the door frame in the frame, so I try to just move it forward if I can. And that way I'm just barely seeing that third wall there just to give some size reference. And that's where I'm going to take my brackets at. All right. Same thing using that 180 degree rule. I'm just gonna walk over to the corner that I just shot in, back myself in this corner, and then I'm just gonna pull myself together here. And then I'm looking at the left side of the screen, just bringing my camera, or bringing my shot right to the edge of that closet. And that's where I'm going to take my brackets. Okay. Cool. Moving right along here. So I've got both bedrooms, and I've got, this is hard to do walking with 2 tripods. I've got the main area, the kitchen. So now we're going to walk into here. Now, this is kind of a trickier composition here. This is this little mud room. I don't know where to put my camera. We're just going to put it right here for now. There's a little mud room here. You'll see it on the screen here in a second. And it's kind of hard to shoot. So what I'm going to do is take a 2-point perspective showing these 2 back walls here. Try to get that door frame out of it. Yeah, I'm going to stop right there. Roll my shutter back up. Make sure my verticals are correct, and then I'm going to bust that shot off like that. tricky situations, you just kind of have to make the call on what you're going to do. And that's what I chose to do there. So let's move on through here to the primary bedroom, master bedroom, whatever you want to call it. All right, so same thing. I'm going to, let's see. I'll brighten up here. Here we go. Brighten up, you can see what I'm doing. Shove my camera close to this door frame here, and then I'm going to roll over until I can barely see this wall over here, just to give it some size reference, and that's where I'm going to be to shoot that first shot. All right, that's good there. And let's see here. I'm actually not going to follow the 180-degree roll here, and here's why. I need to turn that light on in that bathroom, but let's see. When I come over to this angle, I can see the bathroom really nice. So I'm going to start here. I'll probably end up taking three pictures of this master bedroom anyway. But before I do that, let's go ahead and turn those lights on real quick. Move my camera back over. Okay, let's see. And I'm gonna finish moving this over. I really don't like cutting off the edges of door frames like I had it, so I'm just gonna roll it over to there. I might zoom in just a little bit. That might be a little dark. Let's see, right here. All right, and there's nothing wrong with looking, because I mean, I can very well take a shot from here as well, and I'll just kind of look and see what that looks like. Let's see. So I'm just looking here. You can also, this is a great angle as well, because you can see I'm leading off into that bedroom. I do want to see if I can open this closet just to get it a little more open here. See what that looks like, because this house has nice closets and everything. So I'm going to open that up too, real quick. Yeah, so that's where my composition is going to be. You can punch in a little bit just to get rid of the space on the edges if you wanted to. Take a shot just like this. Awesome. And now for the master bathroom. I'm just going to sit you guys right here to see what I'm doing here. Once again, just kind of pushing in here to the door frame. Let's see. Try to get your camera as close to the door frame as you can. And I don't like to see that side of the door frame here, so I try to move a little past it if I can. Zoom out, make sure you're as wide as possible. And I like being about right there. That way you're not cutting off the mirror and you're still seeing the wall of the shower over there. And I like to back up out of the reflection because there's a shower door there, if I can. All right, that looks good. So now what I'm actually going to do as well, I'm going to take a 1-point perspective of just this shower. It's a nice shower. So I'm going to lower my camera height just a little bit, get my verticals correct. Sometimes I will like to zoom all the way in so I can see if I'm level and then pull it back out just a little bit, just like that, so I'm not cutting off the mirror. And here's a pro tip too. You can come in here and open this door a little bit. That way you can get rid of the reflection and it kind of just makes it look a little bit more inviting, like the door's open. So I'm gonna make sure I'm out of the way of the reflections, take my brackets, and that's it. All right, so now let's move on through to the garage. 1 second here. Let's see. Let's move on to the garage. The garage, I like to take a pretty simple approach to it. Let me grab my camera real quick. Garage, I like to take a simple approach. I usually just take one photo of the garages, simply because, where are we at here? Where are we at? Hold on 1 second. There we go. It found me again. Okay. Same thing here. I like to just take one angle of the garage and just a 2-point perspective where you're seeing that back wall with the garage doors and this right there. So I really just put it right there, make sure it's bright enough, and take a shot just like that. All right, we are now done, with the inside of this house. And that's all it took. This one was about 1700 square foot. It's probably gonna yield, I'd say probably about 20 photos of the interior, and I do about 5 to 7 on the outside.